And we don't just throw this together, because that's what the next session is going to be about. So Chris Lane from Transport for West Midlands, who is putting together the 2027 ITS World Congress, is going to come and join me in a second. As I said earlier, and I will keep saying for the next 756 days, was it? This is a really, really big thing that we've got, the World Congress. Vlad just said about 2006. That was my first World Congress as well. I think many of us in the room that are of the more mature years would say a similar thing. For some, though, this will be the first and possibly only World Congress taking place in the UK during their career. So what has the TTF been doing to get to the point where we could win the bid, and the UK could win the bid, which TTF did not lead, I will hasten to add, but was very much a supporter of? Well, we've been going to World Congresses for years, but we knew we wanted to win the World Congress. So back in 2022, we all headed off to Los Angeles and we set up a really impressive stand there. Now, we'd been disappointed that we hadn't won the 2024 World Congress, which Birmingham had bid for. But to be honest, the bid process took place during the strange time of COVID, and frankly, nobody really knew what was going to happen with congresses and whether they'd ever come back in the way that we knew them to be beforehand. And so we kind of understood why Ertico went with the decision to go to Dubai. I probably would have done as well, because Dubai have more money to spend on that sort of thing. But we didn't give up, and we decided to go big on turning up, getting people along, showing the world that we meant business. We'd had a stand in 2021 done by our friends at Innovate UK in Hamburg. We then went to Los Angeles, and we did the European congresses as well. So here is the team and all the exhibitors on the UK pavilion in Lisbon at the ITS European Congress that was 2023, yeah. And then in 2024, it was the the World Congress in Dubai. We got the ambassador along. He's there with somebody really, really important, and the Transport Secretary for the United Arab Emirates, who was also there. Again, we had important sessions on the stand. We were showing off all the time that the UK meant business, the UK was supporting the event, and the UK was a leader in intelligent transport systems. And it was then that we actually were able to announce that we would host the next World Congress that was taking place in the Ertico region in 2027. So we've upped it since then. So here we are in Seville. How do you get people interested and excited and wanting to come to the UK stand? Gin and tonic. We got loads and loads of bottles of gin from the duty-free shop. We all brought them over. And we had a massive, what was laughably called afternoon tea, by the fact that the Spanish didn't quite understand what it was about. So we got donuts and a few cakes and gin and tonic. But everybody had gin and tonic. Everybody had a great time. Our stand was absolutely buzzing. It was fantastic. And then, yes, not many Europeans might have gone to Atlanta in August, but that's not the UK's fault, because we sent a huge number of people and we had an excellent time. And actually, there was a lot of good business done, because I again would say our stand was probably the best stand that we had. It was split from the UK side promoting UK businesses. We were promoting Birmingham, and we were co-sharing, as Vlad said, with Ertico. And it was to the point where there were people from other nationalities that were meeting on the UK stand because it was the best one. And that's what made it such a really important thing. So we will be in in Istanbul, and we will be next year in South Korea as well at the ITS World Congress, which is obviously the one before we are hosting it ourselves. And there are opportunities for supply chain SMEs to join us at a very cost-effective way to really meet the world's ITS sector, but it's all leading up to 2027. So if Chris Lane would like to come and join me on the stage, he can tell me, or tell all of us, all about our plans for 2 years' time, just under, in Birmingham, and why everybody in this room shouldn't, has to, for your own good, be part of it. Chris.
Thanks very much, Paul. I don't know how I'll follow Paul on this, but I'll try. Yes, many of you know me. I lead Transport Innovation for Transport West Midlands, and I'm leading the work on the ITS Congress. But I'm not doing it alone. Vlad's here representing Ertico, but Ertico are the actual organisers of the event itself, and they do that in collaboration with the big ITS associations, ITS America and ITS Asia Pacific, and it's a big global collaboration between that. But here in the UK, we are the hosts, Transport for West Midlands, and we're part of West Midlands Combined Authority. Massive help from government, Darren in particular, but DFT, Department for Business and Trade, have been great and really helped us. Visit Britain have supported us and helped us to go to some of these other events abroad. And thanks to Max hiding at the back at the moment, ITS UK have been superb in their supporting and promotion of the event, as have many of you. So apologies if your name's not on the list. These are just some of the companies that are helping us through our working groups, through our preparations, our advisory groups. If you're not on the list and want to be, come and see me. So I think it's a community effort. We should all get involved. We all want to be involved in delivering the Congress to the UK. It's all about bringing the policy, the knowledge and the development together to real deployable solutions with real-world impact. I heard this morning, really quite nicely put, it's all about the outcomes. So why are we doing these things? So this is not an ITS conference for technology's sake. It is really to be quite practical and to try and meet those outcomes. What's in a congress? Hands up who's been to a European or World Congress? Yes, so some of you haven't, but it's a great opportunity. I was going to say great opportunity not to have to travel abroad, but many of us do like to travel abroad. I think Istanbul will be a great congress because of the time of year and the country it's in, but we're hoping Birmingham's a great congress because of the content. But there are high-level programs looking at the latest thinking in intelligent transport systems. There will be a really good exhibition with an ITS arena where companies can talk about their products and services, demonstrations. Andy Graham, who you heard from earlier, is helping me lead on pulling together some really excellent UK demonstrations. There are technical visits, so we will take visitors to the UK out to see ITS technology. If you're thinking, well, my patch isn't in the West Midlands, how are you going to get them there? We have a plan to have a huge map of the UK where we highlight interesting ITS solutions anywhere in the UK and Ireland. So we want them to be able to see those locations and point them in your direction if you've done something really brilliant, but it will take 4 hours to get to wherever you are in the country. Real opportunity for networking, to meet people you wouldn't meet before, to meet experts from other countries, to meet people who do things different ways. And I would say the technical programme is second to none. We have some of the latest research papers, and Eric will be chairing the session this afternoon, but Eric's helped us think about the fact that we want really high quality, really cutting edge technical research presented at this Congress. We also want practical stuff that means that we can make a difference to the event itself. So really to string all those together, the ideas, the research, the innovation, the developments, the policy, is all to get you to a deployable solution that will have an impact on the market. In terms of who's there, I won't go through all the details, the slides will be available, and I'm sitting at the back smelling lunch, so that's not too far away. But it's about 50-50 between the public sector and the private sector. You can see, looking at this diagram, the different types of industries that are represented. So I think anything ITS, we've had a look at what will be in the content of the programme, and we're really keen to make sure this is a fully comprehensive ITS Congress that includes all of the dimensions. And genuinely, people will be coming from all over the world to Birmingham. When we were in Atlanta, we spoke to a number of Americans who were really looking forward to coming over here, not just to see Shakespeare or to do whisky tasting in Edinburgh, but they are looking also to come over to the Congress. We spoke to our Australian colleagues, and Paul's over to see our friends in Australia in a little while. They're really interested to come to the UK. And I think they're interested because we're doing some really great stuff. We talked a little bit earlier about connected mobility in Atlanta. There's a real focus on V2X. I think we're a bit further on in some of the thinking that we've done, and I think there's a lot that the US can learn from some of the great work that's going on here in the UK. But for those that can't travel to other countries, for those that can only just jump on the train and head over to the NEC, it means that you're in front of a global audience, or you're hearing from those global suppliers and those global experts. So I think it is a one-off opportunity to be able to get there and to make a difference. We are all about connecting ideas to transform transport. And this has been the basis of TTF as well, connecting people and ideas to make a difference. And we genuinely think this can start to transform the way we do transport in the UK. Probably most important for me, the core theme areas or focus areas of the Congress, the 4 pillars, if you like, where all those sessions will be decided, are some really important areas. So the first, I won't go through the full title, you'll see this, but the first one's all about people. So the reason we're doing this is for our citizens, customers, for people that we work with, for users of the services. And what we need to make sure that ITS is thinking about those use cases that we heard from this morning. We need to think about the individual needs and the fact that they need to be inclusive. A lot of systems exclude people. And a big focus of this is diversity and inclusion, and we want our Congress to help ITS think about how do we include everybody. We want to think about sustainability, and we're not just talking about the climate, we're talking about resilience. Our transport networks, it can be quite challenging. I'm sure all of us have seen train delays and other things through bad weather and through other conditions. How do we make sure we've got a really resilient transport system? We've called this a quantum leap in technology. The name of that will change, but this is actually to say what's genuinely new. So we talked about some things now that are happening today, but what's the genuine next thing? What's the thing that we need to be on the ground floor with? What do we need to really understand? And the last one, which has definitely been mentioned, how on earth do we pay for these things? How do we run these things sustainably? We've heard about putting sensors out, great work that we've done in Ireland with the work they're doing. But it's hard even in the UK to have the money to fix local authority traffic signals. So how do we make these really clever, intelligent transport systems sustainable? How do we pay for that? And who's got some new ideas and new ways of working? Hands up who's been to the NEC? Yeah, love it or hate it, that's where we are. But we're working hard with the venue to make sure it's a really great location. We've been promised loosely that the M42 will be sorted by then. So if you're driving, I've heard some good laughs, that's okay. But we'll see whether that challenge is met. But it is really, really well connected, whether it's by road, rail or air, you can get to the NEC. We've got halls 4 and 5 for those that know it. Highways UK this year was in hall 5 for those that went there. Hall 4 will be where we set things out in terms of the technical sessions. There will be a UK hub where we show off, working with Darren and TTF and government, the best that the UK's got to offer. And then the main hall will be for exhibitors and some stages. We will have outdoor demonstrations, and Andy's ecosystem we'll be hoping will be running on the roads outside of the NEC, and we would love anyone that wants to participate to speak to us about that. We're currently seeking partners to work with us. We've tried to focus on the various areas that we think are important. Whether you're a global mobility impact leader, thinking about the whole, the global sales market, if you like, or whether you're just a supporter wanting to progress the work that's going on locally. Again, we've started to engage with that. And if you'd like to find more, I'm going for the biggest QR code. It's hard to beat one of these. But if you wanted to take a picture of the QR code, that will give you an idea of what we're doing, what the brochure is, what partnership levels we've got. But a really big thank you to many of you in the room who I know and recognise who are already helping us. But it is a global effort, and it's we want to work together. So if it wasn't on that list of companies and organisations working with us, come and have a chat with me at lunchtime, and we'll see if we can get you signed up. Thank you very much.
So I said this is a really, really big deal, and I think you've heard that it is, and we're going to get 15,000 people, if not more, at the NEC, and they're going to be seeing the best of global ITS, but the best of British ITS while we're there. So, and the international community, as Chris was saying, is really excited. ITS Australia are really excited about the fact that they can come back. They've done brilliant events in Sydney and Melbourne. They basically said they wanted Melbourne in 2016 to be better than London in 2006. We now want to be better than Melbourne 2016. So it's kind of like the Ashes for ITS World Congresses that we're working on. So I'm looking forward to banging the drum in the Gold Coast at the ITS Australia Summit in a couple of weeks. I'd also like to thank ITS Ireland for a huge amount of work that they are doing to assist, and David's colleague and former chair of ITS Ireland is a guy called Donal Hodgins, who is going to be coming over to basically bang the drum for the ITS national associations across Europe. He's going to be on the Gold Coast as well, and so it really shows that he is going to be also saying, you've all got to come to Birmingham in 27. So it is a really big event that lots and lots of people are coming for. If you're thinking you're paying your taxes to send me to Australia, you're not. I'm going with my Highways News hat on to make, I haven't got a Highways News hat. Andy, I need to get one, clearly. Brilliant. We rehearsed that, you can tell, can't you? I will be there with my Highways News hat on, thanks to, in fact, a couple of people in this room. TRL, AGD Systems, an Australian company called NGIS, TomTom, Wescotec and Nycander are all supporting me to make podcasts from the event. So do go, this is my plug, to the Highways News website and have a listen to the best of Australian ITS, which you can then nick and use over here as well. And also pick out things that they're looking for and potentially business opportunities. So even though you might not be able to get to the Gold Coast, you can have a listen and find out about it. So those start next week and they're running. There are about 5 or 6 of them. So have a listen to those. They'll be on the Highways News website. I have spoken enough. Thank you to all our speakers this morning. We're back in an hour and a half. We're going to go and have lunch. Please be back on time and have a really good networking and go and see all our exhibitors. Thank you very much.